Hi, welcome to FedScoop TV. I'm Colby Hockmuth. I'm sitting here with John Hale, Chief of Enterprise Application Services Division at DISA. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So John, what was your first government job and what did you learn from that experience?
So my first government job was the Air Force. Fresh out of school, I joined the Air Force, and I worked in the Air Force for about 8 years, mainly because I had this strong sense to serve my country. I learned lots of great things in the Air Force that ultimately have helped me move on in my career in the government. So,
Was there anything you did early in your career, maybe specifically, that you think influenced your success?
so probably the best thing I ever did was, and this may not have been my doing, I had some really awesome mentors early on in my career, and folks who could take me aside and say, this is what you're doing right, and this is what you're doing wrong, and if you change these things, you could progress further. And so the mentorship early on in my career was basically what allowed me to move on and succeed in early on. So I'm very happy for the people who helped me along the way.
Yeah. And so what advice would you have for young employees who are just getting in and might feel overwhelmed in their new roles?
Absolutely. So new employees in the government, specifically in the government or any corporate environment, when you first come on board, you're in that whole learning curve thing, and you don't really know where you fit into the big picture. And being able to understand your role in the organization, the value that you bring, and ultimately where you fit into the overall structure of the organization is key. But then, as I said, identifying a mentor early on, somebody who's been with the organization for a while, who can help you learn the ropes and learn the jargon. Every organization has their own jargon. That's key to moving on too. So.
And what's some of the best career advice you've ever received?
So I wouldn't necessarily say it on the camera because it's kind of bad, but it was basically be nice to everybody, right? The old saying that you catch more flies with honey rather than vinegar goes very true in government. It goes very true in any organization. So if you work well with others and you're willing to give a little to get a little, it usually works out better in the long run. So.
Yeah. And so what sort of resources would you recommend for someone looking to further their career? I know you mentioned mentorship.
Mm-hmm. So every organization has their own specific resources to the organization, but overall, from a government perspective, OPM, Office of Personnel Management, puts out significant documentation about how you get started in the government, what you have to do when your first day. Those are awesome resources. And then once you come on board, usually every organization has a sponsor, and that helps you get started on board. And then finding a mentor early on, signing up for the mentorship program, every organization has one. It's an awesome deal.
And so why would you recommend someone early in their career to join the government?
Years ago, people looked at government jobs as being something that you would do for stability. And I don't really think that's definitely not why I joined the government. I joined the government because I wanted to make a difference. So the big thing why I encourage folks coming out of school to join the government is to be an impact maker. Having worked on both sides of the equation, I can tell you that sitting on the government side, you can have an impact to the way the government does work. And me specifically within the Department of Defense, when I get up and go to work in the morning, I feel as though the work that I do is directly impacting the lives of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines overseas. And so that to me is a hugely beneficial thing. It provides great satisfaction. And a statement I made a while ago is, I sleep better at night knowing that we do what we do.
Absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the things you're working on?
So as the Chief of Enterprise Applications, my responsibility is to really deploy large-scale enterprise services to the Department of Defense. One of the bigger things we've done recently was DoD Enterprise Email. We're also getting ready to deploy a new service called MilCloud, which is a cloud-based solution within the Department of Defense for secure department data. And so what we do is we kind of keep tabs on what's going on in the commercial industry and help bring that into the department. Our workforce is getting younger every day. And our workforce lives in a world where they've never known the world without having instant internet access in their hand. And so we're changing the way the government and the way the Department of Defense works to help leverage that capability within the workforce.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to seeing some of those projects. Thanks
Okay.
for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
You're watching FedScoop TV.